Hello everyone and welcome back to Freedom Through Confidence. My name is Ben, and in this video today I want to talk to you about how to stop being insecure. Now, insecurity is something that we all deal with at one point or another in life. Maybe you will only deal with it for a little bit, or maybe it will be a prolonged experience. In either case, knowing how to deal with being insecure, how to prevent it, how to stop yourself from feeling insecure is a massively important tool in your self-improvement arsenal. So that's what I want to be talking about in this video today, all about insecurity and how you can deal with feeling insecure. Now, my first go-to piece of advice for anyone who might be feeling insecure in one way or another is, first things first, you've got to be honest with yourself. A lot of us try to hide our insecurities. A lot of us try to lie to both others and ourselves about what our insecurities are. The only problem is, often the more you try to hide your insecurities, the more glaringly obvious they are. For example, I was very insecure when I was, just getting into university about my level of intelligence, which is more or less perfectly average, sometimes a little below. It just depends on the subject. But I had this idea in my head that I had to be this super smart guy, and it made me very insecure that I was surrounded by so many people at university that were so much smarter than me. So I overcompensated by becoming, for lack of a better way to put it, an arrogant smartass. And yeah, if you've ever met someone who is a bit of a know-it-all and someone who just goes kind of out of their way to be a smartass, then you've probably gotten the impression that, well, maybe they're doing that because they're a little bit insecure about how smart they actually are. And for me, that was 100% the case. And it was only once I started being honest with myself about the fact that I did feel insecure, about the fact that I just wasn't as smart as I wanted to be, that I could start to deal with that insecurity. And so that's the first thing that I would encourage you to do, is just get honest with yourself. Like, be as honest with yourself as possible. Ask yourself, what is it that I am insecure about? Because you're probably already pretty good at identifying the fact that you are insecure in one area or another. And so I want you to just get honest with yourself about what that is, and also what expectation you have of yourself that is making you feel that way, or what expectation you feel like society or your family or your friends have of you, or whatever reason it might be that is making you feel insecure. Just get very honest about exactly what that is, because it's only after you've acknowledged the problem and been honest with yourself about it that you can start to deal with it. And so the chances are that you've been on this channel before, and you know that my go-to for anything that is regarding mental health is to say that if this is something that is particularly pervasive and something that is negatively affecting your life and your mental health, then of course you should go and see a therapist or a counselor. It's what I did, it's what I recommend that everyone does. Even if you feel like it's not a big deal, just go and speak to one, because you never know what might come up. A lot of our insecurities will often fade away in time if you just put a big enough spotlight on them. So whether that is just being very honest with yourself, or going and speaking to a counselor or a therapist, or just opening up to somebody that you trust about what you feel insecure about, a lot of the times just having that spotlight on it can be enough to start to dissipate that particular insecurity. But if that is not the case, then I would encourage you to start actively trying to deal with it. So whether that is challenging your perceptions about a particular thing about yourself that you're insecure about, a particular expectation that you feel that the world has of you that you feel that you can't live up to. For example, if you are a skinny guy and you feel insecure that you don't look like Chris Hemsworth or something like that, then I would encourage you to start to explore exactly what that expectation is and also explore whether or not this is an expectation that you even truly want to have in your life. And I know that it's nowhere near as easy as me just saying, oh, well, you know, you just need to ignore societal and cultural expectations. Like, I know as well as everyone else that it's nowhere near that easy to escape it, but through self-awareness, you take the first step towards moving away from that. I dealt with a lot of my insecurities through simply just being honest with myself and honest with other people, and then taking actions surrounding it. So, for example, I felt pretty insecure about the fact that I have ginger hair. And I know it's such a stupid thing to feel insecure about, but you know, all that teasing in school, it really got to me after a little while, and I had this internalized insecurity that, oh, ginger hair is gross and disgusting. Nobody likes people that have got ginger hair or red hair, something like that. And it was only once I started being honest with myself that I started to deal with that expectation that I held, that I had to look a certain way, or that I had to be a certain way. And so I dealt with that expectation and that insecurity by bringing it into the light of day and actually addressing it with myself. And it was only after I had dyed my hair blonde for like a full year that I realized that the more I'd become aware of that insecurity and the more I had learned about accepting myself as I was, the less it bothered me. And I wish I could give you a blueprint or a step-by-step of how to escape these feelings of insecurity, but what I can say is one of the most important things is that you start to learn how to accept yourself. In a video that I did about a week ago, I spoke about the concept of becoming your minimum viable person, which is how you begin to express yourself and understand yourself in a way that lets you know that you are where you are right now and there's nothing wrong with that, but that you are working on improving yourself, that you love yourself enough as a man to want to be a little bit better and to want to improve yourself in one way or another. And that is what will eventually help you to overcome your insecurities, is accepting that this is where I am right now and there's nothing that I can change about my past. I have to accept that I am where I am right now, and then and only then can you start to move forward. So be honest with yourself. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to the people that you trust about the things that you feel insecure about. And through their support, they will be able to help you through that as well. As I said, speak to a counselor, speak to a therapist, start to journal it down, start to become more mindful of these insecurities. And the bigger the spotlight you put on them, the more that they will fade away over time and create more room in your life for self-acceptance and compassion and a higher level of self-regard and self-esteem. So I hope that wasn't too vague. I hope you have been able to glean enough information from this video that you will be able to start to attack your own insecurities. This is something that you can overcome. I spent most of my life absolutely riddled with insecurities to the point where I couldn't even leave my room. I just stayed inside of my university dorm room, and I only popped out when I was certain that I wouldn't see people to get food and then retreat. And I got past that. I put in the work and I was able to get past that, which isn't to say that I never feel insecure, because I do, everyone does. But over time you learn how to deal with that and how to cope with it. But you can only deal and cope with your insecurities once you start to be honest with yourself and once you accept where you are in life right now. So I hope you found this video useful. Let me know your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. Leave a like on the video if you found it useful, and subscribe if this is the kind of content that you're interested in. I make videos all about confidence and life advice for the average Joe, so if that's what you want, make sure you subscribe. And that's all I've got for today's video. So I wish you the best of luck on your journey towards creating more self-improvement and self-confidence in your life. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos here on this channel very soon.